Interesting.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's just about, you know, I spent sort of the last 19 years being a traditional, doing everything the traditional growing way. And it's been great because I've been able to, you know, increase my knowledge base and stuff. But now I'm just kind of getting to a point where I'm just thinking, okay, what else is there? You know,
cool.
How can I make it functional but pretty, but also like work with the environment and work, you know, with companion planting and pollinators and stuff. I don't use pesticides, so just trying to sort of like build it up from there, really.
Brilliant.
Just to see how it, just a sort of harmonious mini ecosystem.
Yeah, nicely said. Well, respect, you're definitely doing it. It's really, really interesting. Leave it 20 years in the game.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? Like when all my friends were like going out partying and stuff, and I'm just like covered in muck, and I'm dirty all the time, and they're laughing at me, and I'm taking all my stuff all my produce and stuff into church, and all my jams and things that I've made, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy, like, what is wrong with you?
Ahead of your time.
And then, I was actually, which is quite funny because I then got into making like creams, like because my daughter suffered really badly when she was a baby from eczema, and it was all over her face, and it was to the point where she started to go bald. It was in her hair. She was losing her hair and stuff, and the stuff that the doctors were giving me it just wasn't helping. And I remember I watched the Grow Your Own Drugs thing on the BBC, and I remember thinking to myself, I've got to try something. So I did, and I made us some cream, some eczema cream and stuff, and it cleared it up within about 3 weeks, and it's never come back.
Amazing.
Never come back. But then after resorting to like using rosemary hair wash, chamomile stuff, I made a chamomile cream for her and things, and it just cleared it up. And so since then I've always kind of veered in that direction of trying to use as much natural stuff as possible.
Amazing.
You know, so part of the allotment at the top end near the polytunnel, I'm going to grow loads of herbs and stuff for that purpose.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, well, Laura does the same, makes creams and that kind of same thing what you're saying, sort of for eczema and different skin conditions and all kinds of things. And we're kind of more familiar with the wild environment, like we forage a lot and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So this is kind of easing into finding the line between the two and stuff, and it's like, it's a new experiment, but
that's good. You'll have to take me, because I like foraging, but I only like forage for like basic stuff. Like I take the kids when we go for big walks and stuff, and I point things out, and they just look at me like my mum is a weirdo.
Right. Yeah, well, Laura does workshops and stuff, you know, and that's all kind of things that
brilliant.
we do. So at the end of June we've got one coming up. But anyway, I'll get your number and message you about this and
definitely.
And stuff.
But I'll be interested in the foraging thing. I'll get them all out with the bags and stuff. They know blackberry picking. We go wild garlic foraging.
Lovely. Yeah.
And there's the odd mushroom. I mean, I'm not really big on trying to poison myself, so I don't really touch a mushroom.
Yeah.
But I do know. Is it chicken of the woods?
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah, cool. Lovely, isn't it?
So I got all excited when we went down to Argafen and there was some there, and I was like, oh look, mushrooms! And my kids are just like, really, mum, really?
Oh, brilliant.
But I know, and that's the thing that I'm sort of hoping for, that even though they think I'm weird right now, that the stuff that I teach them will stay with them.
Exactly.
You know, because that's the thing. That's another thing as well. Like, I really find that this sort of generation, particularly my generation and the generation after me, is just lost. There's no connect to nature anymore. And I don't think people really understand how important it is to be connected to nature, you know? There's something about getting your hands, for me anyway, there's something about getting my hands in the dirt. There's something about working in the soil and growing something and planting it and watching it grow and feeding it and nourishing it and then taking it back home and being able to feed and nourish my kids. So there's a beauty in that I think that people just, they don't understand. And I think that that's just such a shame, you know?
I feel you, definitely, well said, yeah. It's about that, isn't it? Re-establishing that connection. Realising where the food comes from. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
Because when I used to teach at a pupil referral unit. So they were kids that had been permanently excluded from school. And I started off as a support worker, and then I spoke to my boss and was like, look, I really want to set up a kitchen. We could do cookery MVQ. Wow. We'll have a kitchen garden. You know, we'll grow stuff and we'll go out and we'll pick it and we'll cook it. And I'll never forget, like, the first thing I wanted to do with them was teach them how to cut properly. So all right, come on, let's go into the garden. So I set up a kitchen garden, was growing vegetables and stuff in there. I was like, well, I'm going to go pick some carrots. And they were like, what? I was like, I'm going to go pick some carrots. They was like, I'm not eating that. I was like, just pull it out of the dirt. It's great. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I am not. That's just come from the dirt, and it's just this such a disconnect, you know. And then I've managed to get them to engage and stuff, and then they were just like, oh my God, this is like the best carrot I've ever had in my life. And it's the same with tomatoes and things. And I think that they need to. I don't know, it needs to be brought back into the curriculum, and and it has to be something that every child is taught. Every child should be taught how to grow food and how to forage and stuff, and they're not anymore. And I think it's such a shame, you know, that our way of thinking is weird.
Yeah.
When it's the most natural thing in the entire world.
It's natural, and it does feel like it's coming back. Really appreciate it.
No, it's all right. Anytime. I've got so much to plant out. It's unbelievable.